do some Apple Bourbon ribs. We're gonna do them on the Santa Maria today. So, open fire, nothing but oak, fire, and whiskey. So, this is what we got. Seen a million times. I brought my baby backs. Pretty much doing the same thing with these guys here. You've probably seen a million different people, a million different ways prep their baby backs. Take a bone from the center here, right along it, give her a twist. Just like so. It's easier to do this without a sharp knife, but I ain't going to dirty two of them, you know what I'm saying? So we're just gonna go just like that. Grab your paper towel, grab both sides, and just pull up from the center. Like that. So then what I'm gonna do, any of the thick fat down here at the bottom, taking it off. Rub doesn't stick to fat. Nothing crazy, just any of the big stuff. All right. So now, even out our cook here. I'm gonna go back right here to this first bone. Where was that? Lost it. There it is. And I'm gonna save this, but we're just gonna come right off there. Stuff's so thin, it'll just burn up. Don't want anything to do with it. And same thing on this edge right here. I'm just going to even this out a little bit, press it down, come through with our blade, and just take it off. As for the top fat, we're looking pretty good. I mean, there's some stuff around here if you really want to get crazy picky. Like if I was just doing a straight low and slow, I would just go through and just kind of take off some of it. Just the top layer, just to where we can get down to all that beautiful meat down there for all of our rub to stick on. But we're using open fire, so we have a little bit of a flexibility when it comes to rendering our fat, because that open fire will definitely do it well. These muscle strands though, they won't render. And they won't let our rub stick to them either, so we're gonna get rid of them. And that's it. Yeah, we got a nice big fat piece of meat back here. I'm leaving it on there. This butcher messed it up, so we're definitely gonna have a shiner here, but this isn't competition, so who gives a shit? Put this out of our way. Now, where things are gonna differ from what I normally do. Get this out of the way. Normally I use no binder. We all know that. Today I'm actually going to. Somewhat. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my mop. So we're gonna build our mop here real quick. This is what I got going on. We're gonna do, for the sake of recipes, I'm gonna measure them. It's a big day today. First up, this is cider. It does have the mother in it. So you gotta watch out when you're dumping it and make sure you shake it. If you do not shake it before you use this stuff, it is vile, man. So I'm gonna start out with a cup of this apple cider vinegar. We're gonna go just like that. I don't like using water. I don't like using water at all. Unless I'm boiling noodles, I don't use water in my cooking. It adds no flavor, it does nothing for you. Now I'm gonna do a half a cup of some apple bourbon. And then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do about a nice tablespoon of cherry juice. Adds a nice little sweetness to balance out the tartness from all the apples. Not to mention, it adds some killer color. And it smells freaking awesome. That's it. That's all I'm using in my mop. That's all we're doing. So I'm gonna take this and we're going to whip up our rub real quick. So what we're gonna do is I want a nice spice to my rub today and a little bit of savoriness to balance out this apple sweetness that we're gonna have kicking on this thing. So what we're gonna do is, once I find it, 1 second. All right. So let me move our ribs out of the way, so you can see what the hell I'm doing. And let me grab a bowl. All right. Kashmiri Mirch. It's like a chili powder, paprika. It's Indian. It has a nice spice to it, great smoky flavor to it. Shit is awesome. You can find it at, you know, Indian spice stores, that kind of stuff. If you can't, Hungarian hot paprika, it'll work too. It's not exactly the same, but it's good. We're gonna do 2 tablespoons of this. Not to mention, look at that color. Beautiful color in that stuff. And then we're gonna do a tablespoon granulated onion, a half tablespoon of cumin, and garlic, tablespoon granulated garlic, and let me grab my, if I can find it, my stuff is everywhere. I don't know where it went. Is this it? Yes. Okay. We're gonna do a half a tablespoon of celery seed, just to give us that umami. And this is where a little more heat comes in. Straight up, a tablespoon of cayenne pepper. And tablespoon of our Maldon flake or sea salt, whatever you got popping. You gotta remember these flakes are big, so when I say tablespoon and I pull it out and it's heaping, that's why. There's a lot less volume involved. So, and tablespoon of cracked black. All right, let's mix this beautiful thing up, shall we? Oh man, that smells good. Check it out. That's what we got going on. All right, so ribs. We're gonna start at the bottom. We're just going to give this a nice coat. There are some sugars in the cherry sauce. There's some sugars in the apple. We got the vinegar working for us. So this is not so much a binder as it is you know, it's going to start working on the meat, and the rub is essentially going to hold it on. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's what we're doing here. So I'm going to do a coat. Nothing crazy. Be a little liberal on the bottom end. There's no sugar in our rub. We don't have to worry about it burning. You know what I mean? All that stuff. She'll take that fire. No problem. No problem. Give her a little pat. Make sure she stays true. Beautiful. Flip them. And again, let's give them a little love with our mop. This is what we're going to be spraying. It's going to keep that flavor up, keep our moisture up, especially being open over fire like that. Keep these ribs nice and moist. And not to mention, it's going to add some kick-ass color to it. Now, I would have used pomegranate juice had I had it. Because again, that adds a nice little balance of sweetness with tart. You know, that tart flavor and color. Start here on the edges. Work my way around this rack. Not going to go too heavy because this is a very fine blend rub, you know, a little bit different than what I normally use. I usually use a lot of coarse ground stuff, you know, bark and all that good stuff, but this will get cakey, you know. I don't want it cakey. It's looking good though, right? These flavors should work really well together. And that's that. I'm not gonna press this in because I'm gonna let these sweat. I'm just gonna put this back in the fridge and just let it hang out. It's gonna be a couple of hours. Maybe about an hour and a half, 2 hours at the most. And then we'll pull them out and get the Santa Maria lit. What's going on, guys? It's not the same day. Things just got away from me yesterday. It's been this chain of events. I didn't have a chance. So today, finally getting them ribs going on. So this is what we got popping here. A nice oak fire going, rolling some nice smoke. I got the log set off to the side. We're gonna run our ribs down the center of that. So that way we have some flamage on each side. We got a nice bed of coals underneath it. And they're pulling in some serious smoke. So it's a Sunday afternoon. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. It's one of the very few days where it hasn't been balls hot out here. So I'm excited to get some cooking done. I have been cooking, but it's just been simple shit. Things I've done recipes for a million times. So we're gonna cheers this out. I'm gonna start this cook. Hope everybody else got some pits lit today. Let's barbecue some shit. All right, so here we're going. We're gonna go up a little bit higher. Excuse me. Here we got our ribs. Look at those babies. These pretty much sweated overnight in the fridge. So now, because I am using this fire and because we have some open flame, I did spray these with grapeseed oil. Just to act as a little barrier. It's got a high burn smoke point. We're gonna be good. So what I'm gonna do is just drop these guys right on here. We're going bone side down first, of course. Right here in the center. Keep them nice and tight. Let them snug up to each other. Should be good. So we're gonna keep an eye on these. Of course, we're gonna be flipping them. I got our spritz here. This guy, she's loaded up. And that is with our same thing that we mopped them with previously. You know, we got the apple beam in there. We got some of the good apple cider vinegar. And we have a little bit of that cherry juice just for that, you know, sweetness, tartness, color, all that other good stuff. So we're gonna just let them go. I'm not gonna let them keep dry. I just don't want to spray them now until I get a little bit set up, you know? So once I come out here, I'm gonna let them go maybe 20, just to get an idea on how much heat I'm throwing up at the bottom of these things. And then what I'll do, when I flip them, I'll hit them the first time, get a nice bark set while they're flipped over, and then when I flip them again, then we're gonna commence to just keeping them moist, you know. Right now, there should be plenty of moisture inside of them. We're not gonna dry them out. We'll be good to go. So, but that's it. I'm gonna toss some corn on there later. That's why there is quite a bit of fuel. But I wanna keep them up. I wanna keep them high. I don't wanna speed cook these things, you know. I don't wanna hot and fast them. I want them to soak in all that wood flavor. I want them to take in that, just take it all in, man. And let that stuff render down real nicely. Then towards the end, we'll see what the color's like. Maybe we'll bring that grate down a little bit. You know, get a nice little something going on them just to see. So, but we should develop a real nice flavor here. And that's what we're going for, so. Other than that, I'm just gonna sit out here. I'm gonna enjoy my beer. I'm gonna smoke some butts, and we're gonna cook some ribs, man. So, I'll be back. Alright guys, checking in. It's been about, I don't know, 45 minutes, something like that. Check it out. Oh man, look at them babies. Had them about a half hour or so on the bones. Flipped them over, gave them a nice spritz. Got a nice little color on there for about 15 minutes or so. Just flipped them over. About to give them a little spritz here. Just give her a little love. Keep them nice and moist. That's it. So, all right, just checking in. What's up, guys? It's been a couple hours, 2.5. We're gonna start glazing. That's what we got going on right now. Got her down there, nice and tight. Woo, baby! Look at them. Look at those, baby. Man. Nice. Nice flex to them. So here's my glaze. Check that out. So what this is I got a half cup of brown sugar, and I made a simple syrup out of that with 4 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar and 4 tablespoons of apple bean. Then I got 2 tablespoons of blue agave in there, a tablespoon of red wine vinegar, a teaspoon of red pepper flake, and a teaspoon of paprika. And then I added 1 tablespoon of molasses. And that's our glaze, man. And it is primo, man. It turned out great. There we got, check them guys out, man. Let me get you a little closer. Look at that, man. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna glaze these things up. I'm gonna let this set. I'm gonna flip them. I'm just gonna keep basting this thing for probably about another half hour or so. Just build up a nice sticky glaze coating over this thing, man. These things are gonna be sticky, icky, like on your finger sticky. So I kick the fire towards the back a little bit, so that way I can bring this thing down if I want, and I don't have any direct fire, you know? So I'm just using the radiant from the fire brick and the radiant from the high back there, and just kind of letting it come in, you know? So, because they are pretty much done. I mean, I probed the bones, probed in between the bones, nice and soft, and they got a nice bend to them. They are good to go. Man, flies are out today. So, anyway, like I said, I'm just gonna baste these things. I'm gonna keep them going, and probably about another 25 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that. And just get a nice color, nice sticky glaze over these things, and we'll cut into it. All right, guys, I'm on my last base. Check it out. Oh, snap. Look at those things. Kicked my logs around, got a nice little fire action going on, stopped the smoldering, just to get some of that serious flavor and color, and, you know, just burn it into the ribs, man. Give them a little fire baptism. The color on those things, guys, check them out. Oh, yeah, so sticky. It's the sticky icky. All right, so I'm gonna give these one more flip, hit the top, let them go for about 5 minutes, and we'll get them in there. All right, guys, we're ready. Check them out. Oh, man. Come on. Let's do this. Life. Manatee maintained. Check that out. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. All right, I'm gonna bring them in, let them hang out for 5-10. I get my rest of my stuff situated. I'm gonna kick these logs off to the side, save what I can, and let's cut into them. All right, let's see what we made. Oh, man, check them things out. Beautiful, aren't they? Oh. So I'm gonna go right here. Oh. I'm gonna take this one, because I love me some dead center. Look at that. Oh, man. Does that look good or what? Let's see what it's all about. Wow. That is seriously awesome. You can just taste the difference. Damn. All right, I'm starting to get the feels. Wow. That is what I'm talking about, guys. All right. That's it, man. That's some sticky Apple Bourbon Glaze on the Santa Maria. So, that's all I got.